time once again, isn't it?
Does that mean you can use the shadow?
The shadow, indeed. That'll work really well when your voice breaks.
Right. I don't even have a comeback for that one.
What a surprise.
Well, Rookie Thousands are underway, and for their 12-lap race, now it looks like Store Pierce, who made the best start there, will catch them as they go up towards Druids Down, towards Graham Hill Bend. But as you say, a split start grid, the Rookie Thousands underway. Green flag at the back for the 600s, and there's a gap in the middle of the front row. So let's have a look as Al Shawi, who doesn't look as though he's on the grid there, unfortunately. But Daniel Preston on the Triumph. Let's get a bit of a hop, skip and a jump at the 110 machine of Sean Gosling, making a great start on the R6. Store Pistis leads the way, and I can see that was our second place man from earlier on, Tommy Jones, who's into second for the thousands.
Yeah, indeed. So split start makes it a little bit more confusing. So I really don't know why we don't let them go. I'm going to have a chat with Race Control about that at some point, actually, because honestly, if you've got the bike and you're good enough, you just get out there and do it. And we see 600s and thousands competing in other classes. I know there should be a speed difference, but very rarely is there at the end of the day. And it just means that some people get lapped a little bit sooner than they should, and vice versa. Because 12 laps around here, particularly if you're on a quick 1,000. But having said that, we did see one of the 1,000cc machines a couple of years ago get lapped before the first lap had even been completed by the 600s. So, yeah, definitely a bit of a speed differential there. I don't think we saw that individual come and compete in too many more races as the leaders come across the line in the 600s. And it is Preston leading Gosling, Allen, Fruin, Johns, Neal, Siggins, Mason, Gallagher, Popwell and Boxall. As you mentioned before, unfortunately, we didn't seem to have Anmar Al-Shawi out there on the circuit. And it looks like Wellington has also come into the pits early in the race, as well as Mindy Storpistis. Very convincing lead, 50.880. Decent lap time from him on the first flying lap there. He's now got nearly a 3 seconds lead over Jones, ahead of Driscoll, Foreman, Holt. And it's March going past on clink scales that time as well to gain a bit of an advantage, and of course an extra point there as well. Baguzzi is in 8th place ahead of Bastana.
So Michael Wellington, number 59, has come into the pits there, unfortunately, Keith, on his street triple 765. So that's a shame.
I think Bastana's joined the AWOL club as well. I think that's another pit lane individual as well, so that's a great shame, because get to this point of the weekend, you want to have your last race and go home, but you want to have that last race. You don't want to suddenly find yourself heading home. Very frustrating indeed. So fastest man on the track, Saw Pierces. There goes purple in sector 1 as well, just to back it up. Go on, mate.
That's the fastest lap we've seen all weekend from the rookie 600s and 1000s, over 50.8. So I don't know how that compares to the power bikes, but it's not too far away.
I'm going to say we're not a long way from the money there, actually, because you're right. I think we're into the 48s for the really quick guys.
Yep, 49s in
but
the
mainly
power
49.
bikes,
I'm sure there was 148 I saw earlier.
49.
Or was that the ultras? That might have been. That might have been our friend Mr. Dance in the ultras hitting the 48s.
Yeah, 49s and 49s for the first three power bike races. So we're only about a second away from that one. So a 50.8 would put him around about 8th or 9th in the power bikes there.
Wouldn't be too shabby a result. Of course, he could go out and compete with the clubmans in there, so I wouldn't be surprised if he'd be picking up a medal in the clubmans if he came to play in that. And the other thing is, it helps you get a signature as well. So yeah, maybe we'll be seeing some of the rookie thousands taking advantage of that situation as soon as they can. Certainly, if I was a rookie 1000, I would be desperately trying to get an entry for Alton Park in the power bikes as well, or any class basically. If I had the opportunity for a second class, I'd be trying to run it as a second class at some point. And we won't have to see how that happens, but I wouldn't be surprised there's a lot of people taking advantage of the little loop. It's not really a loophole, it's just the ability to do that. Looks like we've got a good battle in the 600s heading towards us here, Bradley. That is Preston ahead of Gosling, with Fruin there in 3rd, then Neal and Allen, and the Neal and Allen swapping places that time round. But Preston, is he the quickest one of them? No, he's not. Actually, it was Fruin there who was the quickest of the bunch. No, sorry, behind him was Neal. Yeah, Dean Neal. He's the quick guy there. He's the only one into the 52s. And 52s, put that into perspective, the pace he's in, that would put him 3rd in the power bikes as far as the fastest laps go. It is Jones now who's also gone the quickest power bike. He's suddenly found another few tenths of a second, because he turns in a 50.487. giving him a difference of 2.6 seconds between himself and Still Persons. So good little result there from him.
So Clink Scales across the line in 7th place ahead of Ricardo Bugatti. Then we will be getting the first of the 600s coming towards us, and it's the white machine number 26 of Daniel Preston, and that's the Triumph Daytona there for Daniel Preston, number 26, ahead of Sean Gosling, Dean Neal, Adam Fruin. So a swap in the final podium position there. Dean Neal now ahead of Fruin by just over half a second. And Jack Allen there, personal best lap of the race.
Tell you who else is missing as well is Matthew Benton. He's another one, I think, who had some good results, if I remember rightly.
DNF earlier on today.
Oh, OK, so yeah, that's probably put paid to his hopes for the weekend. Thanks very much indeed there, my friend. I'm sure I remember his name in association with a podium yesterday.
A podium and a spot prize.
Yeah, that's why I remember it. So, yeah, this class, like lots of others, has a spot prize. The L&W Contractors, I think, are our second longest serving sponsor after DFDS Seaways. So thank you very much indeed to all at L&W for your continued support. It is genuinely much appreciated. It certainly makes a big difference to your life when you come back from the race having had perhaps not such a great day, and there's a spot prize at the presentation waiting for you. It's always very nice indeed. Preston, Gosling, Neal, Fruin, Allen. Just over the line once again. That gap is coming down though. I'll tell you what, Tommy Jones has found a bit of a second win here, I think, mate. He's pulled back another second or so. The gap is down to 1.286 seconds, and we're 7 laps into this 12-lap race. So I don't think it's all over bar the shouting just yet. And the other thing that Still Persons has got to worry about is the oncoming of backmarkers as well, because they're now starting to get into some of the 600s, and as we've mentioned before, these 600s don't hang around either. And certainly, potentially at least, they're just as quick as the thousands around here. The lap record being a couple of seconds quicker than these guys are going at the moment. I appreciate not ideal conditions. Still Persons catching up with the first of the 600 back markers here. Goes past him cleanly on the straight. That makes his life a little bit easier. Does a 50.561, which is actually a PB. So there we go. He has lifted his skirts a bit. But behind him, Tommy Jones in a 50.797. Does lose a little bit of time, I think, catching up now. We've got some other bikes coming down the hill there. We're 8 laps into this race. So we saw a little bit of time to go, plenty of time for it to go wrong. Still Persons did make it up in the second sector there. Really flew there. A bit of a change, I think, between Preston and Gosling there. So we might have a change in the 600s. I'll wait to see them out the back there. Now, they've been very close for the entire race, of course. Fractions of a second covering the top 3 in the 600s. Side by side across the line. There we go. Do we see a change? Yes, it is indeed Gosling taking over from Preston. Dean Neal and Adam Fruin behind again. All in a very close battle there. Still Persons comes across the line. It's now back out to 2 seconds. So I have to say, Tommy Jones, I think his race might be run in that regard, unless he can suddenly find a way past. Or indeed if Mindy gets caught up with a back marker, of course, which you've seen so many times around the Brands Hatch Indy circuit, particularly with these longer 12-lap races. And they're catching up with the slower, so the quicker 600s, I should say. Sun's starting to set, people starting to pack up, get ready to go home. Of course, been a long weekend for everybody. Most people have been here since Friday or even Thursday night. I know the paddock was quite busy on Thursday night. People got set up for the weekend. The awning's up, the encampment's up. They pack up and get ready to do it all again in it's only 3 short weeks. So I've got to really pull the digit out with a program on this one. I'll have to spend some of my holiday, I think, actually tuck away on the typewriter.
Holiday? You never go on holiday.
No, not me, mate.
Well, Rookie 600 coming down into Graham Hill Bend there once more. And it's still Daniel Preston holding the advantage over Sean Gosling there. So number 26 ahead of the 110. Next up is the number 60 of Dean Neal and 916 Adam Fruin. So it's spread out just a little bit. But Preston and Gosling and Neal and Fruin all going personal best in this first sector.
Yeah, it's interesting seeing how much quicker they're going. I guess they're just getting used to the conditions or something like that. Or maybe some of these thousands they're catching up with are giving them a bit of a tow. I've really got no idea, but they're certainly mixing the slower thousands already well behind the faster 600s. They put a couple of them behind them already. But Preston, Gosling, Neal, Fruin, and it is the last lap flag now going out to Still Persons, 51.464. So the race 18 will be joining us on the track shortly. So just 3 lap races left before we conclude the first of our
There's a
weekend's
change
gone.
to the race lead there for the rookie 1000. Sorry to interrupt, but that is the number 105. That's Jones, who's now out in front ahead of Store Pierce. And with only, what have we got there?
It's
half a lap,
mate.
isn't
It's
it?
last lap, yep.
Half a lap in towards Surtees, and it is the 105 machine leading the way. That's Tommy Jones on the Kawasaki ahead of Store Pierce on the number 55 Honda, and they're going side by side there. Looks like Store Pierce trying to go the long way around, and can't quite see the sun setting, and it's kind of interfering there, unfortunately. But we're watching them come across the line. And it was side-by-side stuff there between the top two. 14 one-thousandths of a second it was given to Store Pierce, but I suspect that may be a photo finish there.
Yeah, it could well be a photo finish, mate. And, of course, Tommy Jones did win the Ron and Bill Collins Memorial Trophy last night for his efforts, and would be rather fitting if he managed to win that race as well, because Store Pierce took he only finished second every single race this weekend, Tommy Jones. So if that's another second, that'll be 4 seconds. I think he'll be leading the championship, but he will be grinding his teeth just a little bit to not quite get the top spot, particularly after that great run. So it's Driscoll there who finishes in 3rd place after all that action. A fair way behind the other guys, Jack Driscoll there. Then we're going to have to look at Holt and Foreman who come across the line, and then it's going to be the battle of the 600s coming towards us very shortly indeed. And let's see if there's going to be any change, but I think it's going to be all the way there. Dan Preston. And Dan Preston, of course, was awarded the Vince Fox Trophy last night for his efforts yesterday, and he proves that choice to be very appropriate.